And we are live. Yay!
Yay!
You're too cute. Today, folks, my name is Rachel O'Brien. Obviously, you're watching my YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. And this is one of my greatest supports in my living. And her name is Yvette Pinola. Hi,
Hi, hi.
hi. And so I facilitate, I'm going to call this revolutionary class called Relationship Done Different.
Mhm.
And so one of the things that I'm going to be open about like first and foremost is I have different abilities, and for me to actually thrive in the world there are certain needs that I have in relationship. True?
True.
Yeah. And so we have this class called Relationship Done Different that I facilitate. And traditionally, relationship is the distance between two lines. It's about distance. And
Mhm.
so most relationships are based on the judgment, what's right, what's wrong. Relationship Done Different is relationships beyond normal. And so we have what I would call a relationship beyond normal. You know,
Definitely.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
so grateful for that. Thank you for being these tools and for being all the elements of consciousness and truly not just creating this in the world, bringing
Mhm.
these tools into the world, but just being who you are. Thank you so much, Rachel.
You'll make me cry. I'm going through a lot of change at the moment, and I have massive support and so much space and freedom in my life. And so,
Mhm.
one of the things that was highly relevant for me in coming from relationships of judgment to relationships of support, contribution is my living becomes greater through having this person in my life. And so no one had ever told me, what's your exchange rate in relationship? What do you require? Because I didn't require anything was my point of view of it. My point of view was I'll look after you, I'll take care of you, I'll fulfill your needs, your wants, your desires. And I I didn't even get to recognize what I required until I came to my first relationship done different class. And as I'm saying this, it sounds crazy. It's actually true though.
Yeah, so true. Like when you ask, like, are you including you in your relationships? Like it sounds so weird. You think you're automatically included, but then when you finally get it, when you get it, that you don't even, like, from what you just shared, like you're actually non-existent in your relationships when you're just only aware of what other people's
People,
needs and realities are,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that you're not including you. And what would that be like for you? What reality would that create if you actually prioritized you in your relationships?
And I had someone here with me for a couple of days, and I asked her a question. Have you really looked at what you require to support you to flourish? And I had said to her, like, who do you think of before you choose? And in her case, it was her kids, you know?
Oh, wow.
And so this is a relationship question, like who do you think of before you make choices? It might be your kids, it might be your mother, it might be your partner, it might be your job, you know? And so one of the things for both of us, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for both of us, is we had this innate sense that there was something very wrong with us because we're very different in relationship.
Yes, absolutely.
We're giggling because now that's funny to both of us.
It is.
And so, one of the things that I see with people who have different abilities, special abilities, that nobody teaches us to create relationships in a way that supports us and works for us, you know?
Oh my God. The first time, I think the concept of actually receiving, that I get to receive from all my relationships, really. Like, I was like, what? Like that
Mm.
could be real. Like
Yeah.
that could
Yeah. Yeah.
include me. That could be about me. Like that's never happened before.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I suppose I better talk about the special abilities a little bit for people watching. What I mean by that is I can pick up people's projections and expectations. Yvette is a master at this. She can see what people need, what they require for them to be happy. And so that's an ability that we have. And then I had to look at, okay, am I this special ability, am I including me in this? Because I'm very good at knowing what people require and giving them what they require, and so are you.
Yes, I can acknowledge that.
Yeah. We're not negating that. It's a fabulous quality. Also, with me, I could get lost in people's projections because I'm so energetic, and part of the autism, the highly functional autism that I come under the spectrum of, is we pick up other people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions so dynamically so that we think we are them. And so a friend of mine, Joseph, who you adore, said relationship for people with abilities, special abilities, is like a projection party.
Yes, it is.
And so this is where you pick up everything. And then do you take space to ask, well,
Wow.
what do I require here?
Yeah, you can quickly vanish if you
Lost.
go. Sorry?
Get lost.
Yeah, absolutely get lost. Like you don't realize it's all about the focus and what you're aware of, and then you can quickly go bye-bye.
Totally. And thank you so much for saying that you can quickly vanish, because I did vanish in a lot of relationships, you know. And then when I got the relationships done different, is relationship is about supporting what you require, what you need, and not need from what you're missing,
Yes.
need from what you require for you to thrive in this world and for you to actually enjoy being alive. Like, I'm going to say the gifts that relationships can offer, you know?
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't have been able to receive someone like you in relationship. Someone like you. Oh.
Yes, I think I have a recall of an instance where my kindness really was so huge to receive for you as well as
Yeah.
for me, on both of our ends. Like me receiving your kindness, your love, your gratitude, like your acknowledgement was like just blew me out of the water. I was like, just to have someone else acknowledge me and just be present with me in that way, and that kindness that you have, that just is something I've never experienced, actually.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And so this was something that we're both saying when we created a relationship that was about receiving the way that we function, how Yvette would pick up on my thoughts. Like, I can think about something and we're 3,000 miles apart, and you can message me literally at the same time. Like I remember we love to get relationship done different out in the world, and we were doing a class in your house, and I was like, hey, I'm just looking at this. I was just about to call you, but you messaged me, hey, I'm aware of this. Can we look at this? And so these are the way the abilities work. And Yvette always acknowledges my abilities. And actually, you're someone who supports me to be as different as I am, because nobody teaches us to be different. They tell us to fit in and do normal. And so relationship
I'm laughing because I'm remembering that time where I was like getting things organized, and you like came downstairs and you're like, respect the OCD. And I was like, oh, this is an OCD, but it's like the first time where it was more of an acknowledgement and a gift than it was like of something that I like needed to hide,
Oh, Totally. And thank you so much for saying this. So we both have OCD. We enjoy things a particular way. And that's actually, that works for both of our living, you know. And so it's respecting what creates ease and peace. Yvette requires to be very organized in her home, particularly, you know, and I adore that. And so there's no wrongness in this. This is actually a beautiful ability and capacity. And I suppose what I would really love people to know is that I'm doing a relationship class this Thursday. There are facilitators all over the world facilitating these classes. We have a relationship beyond normal, you know. It doesn't go through judgment. You know, of course, we have judgment stuff that comes up because we've been exposed to a lot of
Sometimes it's other people's projections that we think are ours, and for a few brief minutes, and then we're like, oh, that's somebody else's.
So thank you for that. One of my favorite questions is this true for me? And I am going to say this, through going to the Relationship Done Different class and then moving on to facilitate it because I loved it so much, I wanted to get it out into the world. I have detoxified the lies that I was living with, and you're one of the people who has contributed that to me, you know. And so I would love anyone out there who is not like receiving themselves and what they require to know that there is another way to be and do relationship, you know. And I can't even begin to put into words what nurturing, present relationships have gifted me in regard to the joy of being alive, you know?
Wow. This class has gifted me, like, to say that my business has exploded through my relationships. It's so crazy. I think before I took this class, I didn't realize that I had this very deep-seated subconscious thing that I was like, that I couldn't have friends, and I didn't realize it was so invisible to me, and I discovered it, and my world has exploded globally, I will say.
Like, I remember you coming to me and you're like, you're my friend, and I'm like, I am. And
no, I still say that all the time. I'm like, oh my God, so-and-so is my friend. Like, oh my God, I'm friends. Like, I have friends. But it's a totally different meaning because I didn't realize that I had this like deep, dark secret in my consciousness of that somewhere in my body, that I was not allowed to have friends. And this came up after a class and a conversation, and it was so huge. It unraveled in my body. It unraveled my world, and my receiving exponentialized. Huge.
It did. And lots of new people came into your daily living after that, you know? And in this case, when Yvette talks about friends, I'm always like, because there's so much misidentification and misapplication of what friends is. She's talking about someone who makes her living greater, a better way of living, you know. And so it's so beautiful to know you. We invite you to Relationship Done Different. The class just knocks my socks off every time, and the gifts that it continues to offer me is experienced in my day in a different way. I was corrupting all my relationships through myself, through my judgment of myself.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Like it just brings up those areas in your life where you're truly not being you and just not gifting you to you. Like the places where I've misidentified me, loving me, being grateful for me, all of that, like
honoring you, holding you in regard. And thank you for one of the things is if you keep searching for what you require and you think that's outside of you, then you're not going to ever really receive what you're looking for. But when you recognize we talk about like honoring yourself, holding yourself in regard, and trusting. You got to know you to trust you, you know? And so it's just a beautiful journey that allows you to know that you've got this and that you're capable of creating anything and everything, which is vulnerability, I will receive, you know? And we invite you to the Relationship Done Different experience, living. I'm so grateful to Simone Melissa's for creating this, and I'm so grateful to know you, and yay!
You lady.
So we hope you enjoyed this live, and we hope it has contributed to you. And one of the things you can ask is, if I have this person in my life, will it increase my living? Will it increase my joy? Will it make life more of a gift?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Mwah! Mwah!
Mwah!
Bye, everyone. Bye for now. Bye.